First
There's
one.
Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open tonight's meeting with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all for coming. Roll call.
Mr. Bender? Mrs. Hoover? Here. Dr. Krug?
Here.
Mrs. Krug? Here. Mrs. Lee? Here. Mr. Rocco? Mr. Basil?
Here.
Mr. Westrick? Mrs. Zimchuk?
Okay, thank you. Any guests or patrons?
No.
Okay, we're gonna go into executive session for one item, personnel. Be it resolved, Board of Education enters executive session at 6:02 PM. I'll make the motion. Mr. Basil, any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Good, yeah? Okay. All right, we're back from executive session at 6:47 PM. Oh, let's go into superintendent's report.
Thanks, Dr. I'll be very brief here since we got started late here. I just wanted to update you quickly on a couple of the other issues that have caused some problems over the course of the project. The one I've been working on the most is the dust collector. We actually have POs all ready to go for that. We are really close to being ready to start. The thing that's been holding us up is there needs to be a 6-foot by 12-foot concrete pad installed, which was not included in the quote from Hermann's. That's something we'll have to do ourselves, and I've been working with Jeff Smith to try to find somebody who can pour it for us. We found out today, and we were very fortunate and very happy to find out that we don't have to pour it on site. We don't have to get a contractor to come in and hand mix it. We can actually buy precast slabs as long as they meet the strength standards that Hermann says we can use precast. So Jeff is going to check with a couple of local vendors that sell them. I think even Strollo's down the street sells them, and as long as we can get them at the strength standard, which shouldn't be a problem. It's not really it's not a particularly strenuous standard that they're requiring. We can get a couple of those precast slabs. We'll be still under budget, and we can get that going. Hermann's is ready. We are good to go. So that project is just about ready to start as soon as we can get the pads. I also wanted to let you know about another issue that's arisen at the high school. Not as big a deal as the blinds, but it will be something we'll need to discuss. We discovered that there were a number of rooms that had some really difficult, I would call them difficult audio issues. These are rooms primarily in science and art that were built like you do frequently. There's no ceiling in them. It goes the whole way up to the joist is the space. And apparently that mode of installation is causing some weird audio and acoustic anomalies. There's a lot of reverberation, the sound's bouncing around, and it's apparently it's very distractful. I did go down. I was able to get down to the one room, Dr. Konigsberg in chemistry, her science room, and I saw what they're talking about. There weren't as many people there when I was there, but I get the idea. The sound goes up and then comes down, and it does create some off-phase kinds of things. So we do have to look at that, and they've been looking at some audio panels. They should have had the clouds put in whenever we built it, but who knows, again, that just got looked over or overlooked. But we're gonna bring back some ideas to the board at the November meeting about ways we can correct that. So I just wanna give you a heads up on that. And really the one thing I mainly wanted to focus on today was we just got our PSSA and Keystone assessment scores, and I really like data. I'm a data-driven guy. I love data. I love numbers and what it can tell us. And some of this was just so good. I really hope you don't mind if I share a little bit of this with you members of the board. So we got our Keystone and PSSA data back. They just last week opened up the data interaction site. That's what they used to call eMetric, and most of us still do call it that. And I just got my access to eMetric today. So I was able to grab a couple of reports, and I just wanted to share because I mean, as a superintendent who's worked primarily in urban school districts, these numbers are, you folks really should be standing up and cheering because they're incredible. For example, at the elementary school, 4th grade, on the PSSAs last year, 43.5% of your 4th graders were at or above proficiency, which is amazing. Also at the 4th grade, 56.5% of your 4th grade students were at or above proficiency in ELA, which is, again, phenomenal. And in the 3rd grade in the elementary, I should have done 3rd grade first, but at the elementary school 3rd grade, you have 48.6% of your kids at or above proficiency, and that's in ELA. And in math, and this one really blew me away, because it's really, really not what you typically see, at least not in this state. 3rd grade at the elementary school, 53.6% of your kids were at or above proficiency in math. Incredible. This next one is just, I had to double check it, I thought they got the numbers wrong. At the middle school, your kids scored, your kids in your community, and you can be so proud of them, they scored an amazing 80% of them scored at or above proficiency in algebra. By almost common consensus, algebra is the hardest thing that we test public school students. It's the things that nationwide we do the worst on as a nation, not as a school district. So to have 80% of your kids score at or above proficiency in Algebra 1 in the middle school is incredible. And in that same test, you had 0% of your kids, 0% of your kids were below basic, which is, again, unbelievable. At the high school, just to grab a couple high school data points, for high school, of course, you know they don't use the PSSAs, they're using the Keystones. And in high school, your Algebra 1 Keystone scores just dipped slightly. At the high school, 34.7% of your kids are at or above proficiency, and I think what you're seeing there, why there's such a difference from 80% to 34.7%, is probably because the middle school kids that we're testing primarily are honors kids or advanced kids or your gifted kids, and so you really are testing at that level. You're testing the very best of your best, but they certainly met the demand. That's, again, it's an incredible score. The score at the high school, you get 34.7. That's a blend of all levels. That's kids at all points on the performance spectrum. But still, again, as a superintendent and a principal at urban school districts for a lot of my career, I would have called a school holiday and sent everybody home for a day or two if we got 34.7% of our kids in high school scoring at or above proficiency in algebra. That's just amazing. High school biology, this one, another one that blew me away. These are primarily 10th graders, and they scored a 69.2% of them were at or above proficiency level. And finally, at the high school again, and this is mostly kids in 11th grade who took the literature test, 69.3% of your high school kids, and again, these are mostly 11th graders, scored at or above proficiency. That's just, again, those scores are really something to celebrate, and, you know, again, maybe you might be used to it if you're here and you've lived in it, but as somebody who's coming from the outside, I can give you the perspective that there are lots of places where they would, again, they'd call a holiday for those kinds of scores. So Northern Cambria students are a group you can really, really be proud of, and it's just amazing to be associated with them. I do want to point out a couple of things that are really, really unusual about this. If you look at data, statistics, and trends nationally, you went from 56.5% 4th grade proficiency in ELA to 69.3% in the high school. So you went from 59, you went up. That almost never happens. You almost never ever see growth upwards from 4th grade to 11th grade in literature. It's almost universally, it's a drop. And what we try to do is ameliorate or mitigate that drop as much as we can. Here at Northern Cambria, you actually grew, which is, again, mind-boggling to me. And the last thing I'll just point out to you is that one of the great things about that 4th grade proficiency information was, I know from having, again, when I worked at a school district in Pittsburgh, I was contacted by the Department of Corrections, and they have to put together a model for how many prison beds they're going to need in the future. One of the few data points that they use is 4th grade proficiency. If your 4th grade proficiency is low across the state, then Bureau of Prisons knows they're going to need to forecast more prison beds 20 years into the future, because that's how they predict that's one of the key factors they use in predicting what their prison population is going to be, is the number of kids who are proficiency level at 4th grade specifically, since that's the age of attainment of mastery of reading is in 4th grade. That's when you're supposed to master that art. So Northern Cambria kids are really, you're at the leading edge of the curve and pulling everybody up. So I hope you don't mind me going on and gushing on about that, but it's just, those are amazing numbers. And I say it to you as somebody who's coming from the outside, you can find a whole bunch of things we need to do better in the school district, and there are things in this that if I'm here long enough, I'd like to try to work on, but you have some really amazingly smart kids, and you should be very, very happy and very proud of that. Last thing I wanna say, just real briefly, is, and this is just kind of directed mostly to the members of the board. I do wanna thank you personally for the patience and kindness you shown me during my recent health issues. It's been you're helping me through, thank you for helping me through what's gonna be a really difficult transition for me. My heart has always been and always will be in public education. So stepping away from that is probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to do. And I wanna thank all of you for your understanding that you've shown me, and the patience that you've extended to me as well. Northern Cambria, as I just showed you in a snippet tonight, is an amazing school district. I'm extremely proud to have been associated with it, even if it's for a short time. And that's my report, so thank you, Dr. Krug.
You're very welcome, sir. I gotta also put kudos to the former superintendent. That was the one area she did very well in, was the reading part and the education part. And I like to say, we still did it without dogs. That was good. So, anyway, she did a good job on that, so. Anyway, be resolved, the minutes of the September 3rd, 2025 Committee of the Whole meeting, September 17th, 2025 regular meeting are approved as presented. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Mike Basil, that second. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
There's 6 of us. Okay. Be it resolved, the President financial reports for September 2025 be approved as presented or amended, received and filed. Motion. Second, Mr. Tom Bender. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, you can look for yourself on the enrollment report. We're gonna move the building and grounds part A to the end of the meeting, but we'll do the fencing donation. You guys can read it in front of you. Big thing in here is I think this is a booster thing and there's no cost to the district, so. I'll make the motion.
I'll
Second.
second.
Mike got you first,
Oh.
okay? Sorry. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, the change orders in front of you, it was ceiling tiles, I guess we didn't have on hand, the cost of $4,974.74, which includes all labor and materials.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Mr. Tom Bender, second
Second.
Mrs. Carol Lee. Questions or comments?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is this coming out of contingency? Is it coming out of building? Because our budget is still at an impasse, am I wrong?
So the plans for it to come out of the contingency fund.
And there's still money in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Anybody else? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, the item, discussion item for item D, we're gonna hold to the end along with the building thing. So we'll go to local audit. Be resolved, the Board of Education approves the agreement with Turnley Robertson Associates LLC to provide local audit year ending June 30, 2025 for the Northern Cambria School District as per appendix number 1. I'll make the motion for that. Mr. Tom Bender seconds that. Any questions or comments on that?
Yeah,
Good. I'm just for everything, this is the guy we have every year. Okay, go ahead.
no, I was just looking it over. I know that in the contract, there's a fee, additional fees at our standard partner manager hourly rate of $125 will be charged for technical assistance beyond the scope of normal audit. I don't know what the normal audit is, but I know that they did send us a helper last year, which I even mentioned to Brandon, and there was no additional charge for that. I don't know what his title would have been, but the gentleman who came, and I didn't know if this was the same as previous contracts, but anyway.
I'm not sure if normal refers to, I'm sorry, Daniel, I just saw your hand up.
Good.
Cause they were pulling a larger sample at one point after the one part, that,
Cause they didn't
thing was
charge.
submitted, so I don't know if normal is
That I
because
knew
they,
of.
anything above what they pull as a sample, maybe, I don't know.
You mean because of the federal thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they're referring
Yeah,
to.
I'm just saying, that's the only thing I saw in here, it's
I
like
thought it
really
was,
glitched
I
for
thought it
me,
was
but
outside help was like getting things together or something like that, but I could be wrong. Is that right, Brandon?
That's my understanding of it too.
Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Will we have Mindy for any of this, that she could be the helper instead of additional outside help? Or is that
Well,
something
he
they
is,
insist on
this
bringing?
gentleman was with Mr. Turnley's office,
Okay,
Yeah.
so, and he would just send him, but I never really.
I think it was for the AFR, wasn't it?
Yeah, you still need
Yes,
the
it
auditor
was.
to come in for the AFR to make sure everything's,
But that's normal.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
normal, every school
I'm
Yeah.
not
does.
sure what they mean by outside of normal.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that I
Yeah.
saw that, that's all.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know that it was in
very
there
good point.
before,
Sure.
probably doesn't make a
I don't know if
difference,
it's considered outside
but,
of normal.
Anybody good?
that's all, just
Yeah,
bringing
all
your
in favor?
attention. Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay.
Carries.
All right, the blind things in front of you, we talked about a little bit before the meeting. I'm guessing it comes out of contingency fund?
Yep.
Okay, so be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the administration of prior to the purchase of blinds for the rooms most affected by direct sun and glare. The purchase from Budget Blinds, which is CoStar dealer, will be made as funds permit for the listed classrooms at a cost not to exceed $46,000 as per attachment number A.
I'll make a
Motion by Carol Lee. Mrs. Daniel Hoover. Questions or comments?
I have one comment about it, just so everybody's aware.
Yep, go ahead, bud.
We're not gonna buy them all at once. We're going to do them as the most necessary first. So if we're gonna do the first floor rooms in the new part of the high school. Also, we have one student who's light sensitive because of medications. So we're gonna do 5 or 6 rooms that that student will be in. And then after that, we'll do allocations of funds and see where we're at. And if we gotta wait a month or 2 months, and then we'll put the blinds in, then we'll do the rest of the new high school.
Makes sense.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else any questions or comments? All in
No,
favor?
I'm good with that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, community relations, there's nothing, curriculum instruction, there's nothing, Mr. Johnson covered that. Policy and legislation here, be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the updates to policy 626, federal fiscal compliance. I believe this is the second reading, so we can vote on this, so I'll make the motion. Any questions or comments on that nice insomnia reading? Cause it was rough.
It's long.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, for speech pathologist, be it resolved, the Board of Education hires Michelle Lansendorfer as a speech pathologist in the district. She will begin at step 10 at a salary of $69,691, and I'll make that motion. Okay, who won that one?
She did.
Okay, Mrs. Danielle Hoover. Any questions or comments?
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
I did.
You did, okay.
Danielle second.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Welcome aboard, Michelle. Mentors, be it resolved, the Board of Education appoints the following mentors for the 2025-26 school year. I don't know what that 2 means. Oh, the 2, okay. You can see it here in front of them. I'll make the motion for that. This is a common practice, I believe. And Mrs. Danielle Hoover seconds it. Any questions or comments? All in favor? Anybody
Aye.
opposed?
Motion carries.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education rehires Dr. Amanda Vigala as the school physician for the 25-26 school year. The details are as outlined in the school physician services agreement as per appendix number 3. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Mrs. Carol Lieb seconds it. Any questions or comments?
My other question, is this the one we previously had, or?
yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
rehiring her.
Yeah, she did a good job for a second.
It's Dr. Valia from the Marion Center area.
Yeah, I said it wrong. I'm sorry
It's okay,
about that.
she's replacing, yeah, she's good.
She was
Okay.
here, she was here
I was
last.
trying
She
to
was
recall,
here last
okay.
year.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
joined us.
Sorry.
Good.
Okay.
That's all I did.
Yes, yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, I think we should discuss this in executive session because it is contractual, the resource officer thing. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the half-year medical sabbatical leave, fleet request of employee number 724, beginning on Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Do you guys need to have that in executive session, or are you okay with that?
A
Okay.
motion.
Motion by Mrs.
I'll
Norman
second.
Krug, second by Mrs. Carol Lee. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay. Be resolved, the Board of Education appoints Mrs. Sherry DeLosh as the writing department head for the 25-26 school year. I'll make the motion for that.
I'll second.
And Mrs. Danielle, who will second that? Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion
Be it
carries.
resolved, the Board of Education approves the following Ignite Education Solution professional substitutes. You can see them in front of you. I'll make the motion for that.
I'll second.
Tom, did you win that one?
Tom can have that one.
Okay, I did that one. Any questions or comments? You guys are quick. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion
Now,
carries.
Jennifer has nothing because she's really not here, but she's stuck in traffic. Use of facility waiver fees, be resolved, the Board of Education grants a request from the PTO to have a family dance and waiver of fees for the elementary students on Friday, November 21st, 2025, in the elementary, junior, senior, high school cafeteria. Make the motion for that.
Second.
Mr. Michael Basil, second that. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Be it resolved, the Board of Education hires the following extracurricular positions. You can read them in front of you. They're all coaching things which we really need, so I'll make the motion for that.
Second.
Mr. Mike Basil. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Transportation, I guess there's nothing today for that, so we'll
Okay,
move to.
one thing popped in my head
Yeah, go
for
ahead.
use of facilities waivers, while we're there. Do we need an SRO for that night? Just something to throw out there, I guess the principal.
Don't we have teachers who chaperone those things?
I don't know, but anyway, just throwing that out there.
Okay, well, they can look into that,
Yeah,
okay?
that's something that they.
We'll let the
need to
admin
be-
handle
We have
that.
another events, so
Just,
the sports event.
and some things are mandated also.
That's always, it's, yeah.
I
Okay,
think they're gonna use Giddings, you okay with that? I mean,
oh, yeah,
we
yeah,
use that SRO term
that's who we have.
loosely, so, yeah.
Okay. All right, the football co-op comes here. Everybody can see it in front of you. I'll make the motion. Mr. Tom Bender, any questions or comments? And Sam's okay with this. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, soccer goes there, so I'll make the motion for that. Mrs. Carol Lieb, you like soccer? Should have asked that question in front. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Boy, I hope
Motion
some of our kids go, I really do.
Yeah, it's a win-win actually, I
Yep,
think.
yep.
carries. Yeah.
Hey, be resolved, the payment of the bills for the month of October 2025 be approved as presented or amended, received and filed. I'll make the motion for that. Tom will chime in on the second one. Frank, are we okay with all that?
All good.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Questions or comment first, any word on the budget impasse?
They're voting on the 20th on Monday, the state senate. The State House passed the budget.
That's fast, right?
It's all up in the state senate's hands now, so fingers are crossed. By Monday, we'll have a budget.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be
Did they
nice.
meet in the middle, did they, Did they
It
say?
honestly looked like they proposed the same budget that
Oh.
they proposed the second time.
The house, the house, the house did.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
That was fun.
It was going too smooth. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Motion carries.
Okay, now we are gonna go back into executive session, guys. I don't think we have a voting thing, I think it's all discussion. So if we have to discuss a few things, we will not be voting, but we might come out and discuss a little bit in public. So if you wanna come back for that, that's fine. But we're gonna go into executive session for buildings, grounds, discussion of litigation and possible contracts for buildings and grounds, so. Be resolved, Board of Education goes into executive session at 7:12 PM. I'll make the motion for that. Mr. Tom Bender, questions or comments?